everyone, welcome back to Story Baggers. Today we will be reading chapter 10. On with the story. Boo had no idea that his little netting bag had a hole in the corner. It was just a tiny hole, in one corner, nothing dramatic. He had snagged it on a bramble when leaving Sleeping Beauty's house. Tiny, but enough. The bean had worked itself into that corner and dropped out of the bag in mid-air as Boo shot off into the night. There was no way that he could have known it had gone. He had been flying too fast to feel it, and he hadn't had time to count the beans as he grabbed them from the old man's hand. He never knew. Bobble and Vesper hung about for a bit in the rafters of Jack's mum's cottage, watching as the young beanstalk threaded its way out of the tangly grass and started reaching for the sky. Bobble sighed happily. It was all very satisfying. Vesper had, inadvertently, saved the day. And the story. Mission accomplished. Time to head back to the old oak and tell Dr. Komori the good news. Deep in the darksome down of Cathedral Cavern, the beefy bat whose job it was to dispose of the story bags in the secret place at the end of the inky tunnel reached up to sling Boo's bag over the hook that was driven into the rock of the ceiling. It was a very big hook. The story bag hung there, slumped and forlorn, a story whose life was coming to an end. The beefy bat grunted with satisfaction. Another one strung up. Soon all the stories would be bagged. He lifted his mean little eyes to look across the rest of the ceiling of the darksome down. There were hundreds of them, bags big and small, hanging black and still like ghostly seed pods. Such a haul. So many years of cautious, clever work. With every bagging, one less story was free to live and to be shared in the Red World, and the happiness in Haven reduced. There were stories hanging silently in the darkness here that no one alive now remembered. Who but old Batwings could remember the Weaver of Birchingstool or Froggetty Bob? The children's voices raised to join in the telling of Tom Bonny and the Singing Tree were long gone, its spark extinguished in the creeping dark. Old Batwing's empire was spreading. Here was the proof. Soon, very soon, his minions would leave their fastness in the heights and take advantage of the encroaching dark to move down the valley. First the lonely farmsteads would be overshadowed, then the villages, and then Haven Town itself. There would be no one to stop them. Splendid, simply splendid! A story saved. My dear boys, you are to be congratulated. Bats of twice your age would be proud to have achieved what you have. Bobble blushed with pride as Dr. Komori shook his claw. Beside him, Vesper shifted from foot to foot in his excitement. Dr. Komori looked meaningfully at Vesper's waistcoat, which had ridden up over his tummy, before warmly shaking his claw too. That was a tremendous victory, boys, a real knockback for those who would see our world sink into darkness. But this is just the beginning. His face became thoughtful. Bobble and Vesper exchanged looks. Old Batwings will not stop in his efforts. Make no mistake, the vampires are coming, and they are coming for the happy endings. He closed his eyes for a moment and breathed out. When he opened them again, he looked fierce. And they will be stopped. The council has met. It is the duty of every right-thinking creature in Haven, be they bat, bird, animal, or human, to protect our stories. With everything we have. We cannot, we will not, allow the darkness to spread. The happy endings must be saved at all costs. Messages have been sent. Help will come. Go back home, boys. Get a good day's sleep. I'll see you tomorrow evening in class. The double A's have a new set of skills to learn. The joy that had carried Bobble and Vesper to the old oak was replaced with a new seriousness, and it was two very solemn fruit bats that started on their way home. Bobble turned to his friend. With everything we have.
I heard him.
You in, Big V?
Where else would I be? Hey, Bobble, did you see what I did? I'm rhyming with you without even trying now. Cool beans.
I do wish you'd stop doing that. As the two friends flitted their way, arguing, back home, the beanstalk outside Jack's cottage was already level with the attic window and still climbing. Jack would have a big day ahead of him. Good job he kept the axe sharp. Deep in the darksome down below Cathedral Cavern, a single story bag glowed briefly in the shadow, then dissolved in a shower of golden sparks. Unchained and unbeknownst to old Batwings, the first story was free. In tomorrow's Story Baggers, Bobble's in trouble again, and Dr. Komori teaches a new lesson at the battery. Till then, stay safe everyone, stay inside, and good night.